Charge of the Light Brigade, a catastrophic military blunder of 19th century. Presentation overview. Context. The charge of the Light Brigade was a military engagement that took place during the Crimean War in 1854, specifically during the Battle of Balaclava. In order to understand the importance of the charge, we'll provide some historical context about the Crimean War and the Battle of Balaclava. Events of the charge. The charge of the Light Brigade itself was a heroic and tragic moment in military history. We'll delve into the details of the charge and examine the events that defined it. Aftermath and impact. The charge of the Light Brigade had far-reaching consequences, from the casualties and losses suffered by the soldiers to the public reaction and legacy of the event. We'll examine the aftermath and impact of the charge in detail. Background and context. The Crimean War. The Crimean War was a major conflict that took place between 1853 and 1856 between Russia and an alliance of Great Britain, France, and the Ottoman Empire. The war was fought over territorial disputes and political influence in Europe. The Battle of Balaclava. The Battle of Balaclava was part of the Crimean War and was fought on 25th of October 1854. It was here that the charge of the Light Brigade took place. Causes of the charge. The charge of the Light Brigade was a military blunder that occurred due to a miscommunication in orders. The charge was ordered by Lord Raglan, the British commander-in-chief, but the message was unclear, leading to a disastrous outcome. The Crimean War. Military conflict. The Crimean War was a military conflict fought from 1853 to 1856 between the Russian Empire and an alliance of Great Britain, France, and the Ottoman Empire. Territorial expansion. The Crimean War was fought over Russia's desire to expand its territory into the Ottoman Empire. It had a significant impact on the balance of power in Europe and the Middle East. Impact on soldiers and civilians. The Crimean War resulted in the deaths of hundreds of thousands of soldiers and civilians. It had a significant impact on the medical profession and led to the development of modern nursing. The Battle of Balaclava. Background. The Battle of Balaclava was a key engagement in the Crimean War, fought on October the 25th, 1854. It took place on the outskirts of the port city of Balaclava in the Crimean Peninsula. Charge of the Light Brigade. The charge of the Light Brigade was a disastrous cavalry charge that took place during the Battle of Balaclava. It saw British cavalry brigade engage in a suicidal charge against Russian artillery. Outcome. The Battle of Balaclava was a strategic defeat for the British, but the charge of the Light Brigade became famous as a symbol of bravery and sacrifice. The charge of the Light Brigade. The charge of the Light Brigade was a military maneuver by the British cavalry during the Battle of Balaclava that resulted in a tragic loss. The charge was immortalized in Tennyson's famous poem and remains a symbol of heroism and sacrifice. Tennyson's poem. Tennyson's tribute to courage. Tennyson's poem, The Charge of the Light Brigade, is a stirring tribute to the courage and heroism of the British cavalrymen who charged into battle even in the face of certain death. Famous works of poetry. Tennyson's The Charge of the Light Brigade is one of the most famous works of poetry in the English language, revered for its powerful imagery and stirring tributes to the bravery of the British cavalrymen. Aftermath and impact. Casualties. The charge of the Light Brigade resulted in significant casualties for the British Army, with over 100 soldiers killed and hundreds more wounded or captured. Communication and coordination. The charge of the Light Brigade highlighted the poor communication and coordination between commanders and served as a lesson in military strategy and tactics. Public opinion. The charge of the Light Brigade had a major impact on public opinion, both in Britain and around the world, and it was widely discussed in literature, art, and music. Casualties and losses. The charge of the Light Brigade was a failed British cavalry charge during the Battle of Balaclava in the Crimean War, resulting in heavy casualties for the British cavalry. Public reaction, public opinion. The charge of the Light Brigade had a major impact on public opinion in Britain and around the world, both as a heroic moment of sacrifice and as an example of incompetence and mismanagement. Works of literature. The charge of the Light Brigade has been the subject of many works of literature, including poems, novels, and plays, which have contributed to its enduring legacy. Works of art. The charge of the Light Brigade has also been the subject of many works of art, including paintings, photographs, and sculptures, which have helped to popularize the event and its significance. Legacy and influence. Impact on popular culture. The charge of the Light Brigade has become an enduring symbol of courage and sacrifice that has been the subject of countless books, films, and songs that continue to inspire generations. Impact on military history. The charge of the Light Brigade had a profound influence on military tactics and strategy and led to changes in cavalry warfare that continue to shape military history. Conclusion. The charge of the Light Brigade had a profound impact on military tactics and strategy, highlighting the importance of communication and coordination on the battlefield. Thank you.